Welcome to the Instagram Stories Weekend Edition. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. It's been tough to record the past couple of days, but there's been a lot of Instagram news, so let's get into it. The biggest news is that I now have broadcast channels. Do you have broadcast channels? Perhaps you do. It's worth checking. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to use my broadcast channel yet. If you're not familiar, it's a text-based chat that is one-way communication. It's in your DM box and it has a separate grouping there. Primary, general, broadcast channels is the grouping. And you can send out messages to people who follow you. And you can also poll them as well as send voice memos. I feel that you already hear a lot of me on this show, so I'm not quite sure what I would do in a broadcast channel, but I will experiment with it. Moving on to other news stories. Business Insider is reporting that Instagram and Facebook will be pausing their Reels Play bonus programs, which normally helped creators to earn money. Here's the quote from the Meta spokesperson. "We are evolving the test of our Reels Play bonus on Instagram and Facebook as we focus on investing in a suite of monetization solutions to help creators earn steady streams of income. We will stop extending new and renewed Reels Play deals for creators on Facebook and for US creators on Instagram at this time." End quote. The article goes on to explain any ongoing Reels bonuses that a creator has signed up for will be honored for the next 30 days. The Meta spokesperson continued, quote, "We will look into ways to run the program in a more targeted form, for example, in potential new markets. Creators can still monetize directly from Meta and from the support of fans and brand partnerships, all of which have seen significant progress over the past year." End quote. The head of Instagram shared on his Ask Me Anything about this, and obviously I was going to wait till Monday because that's when we do the Ask Me Anything, but I feel like it applies here. The question that was submitted on the Ask Me Anything is, what are you changing about Reels bonuses? Here's his answer.
So we think it's important for creators to be able to make a living on Instagram. There are lots of ways to get paid. You can have your fans pay you can have brands pay you, but you can also have the platform that you're on pay you. And what bonuses are currently actually still in an experiment to try to work out a sustainable way to pay creators for the work that they do. And what we're doing is we're evolving the program and we're pausing it in the US so we can focus on making sure that it's ROI positive, because it's going to have to be ROI positive. It's going to be sustainable for the long term. But we will be evolving it forward, and I'm still very excited about the space.
Do you remember at the beginning of the year, we did our goals for the year, and I said I will make my predictions for the rest of 2023 with respect to social media? I said at that time that I expected social media platforms to pay creators less over time, and shockingly, I was right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how Meta is developing a decentralized Twitter alternative. Stick around. This episode is supported by Because I Love It, aka Billy. Billy is a social commerce platform that connects social media influencers with brands to sell online. Billy is performance-based, influencer-centric, and works across all social media platforms. Join Billy's 10,000 influencers today. Find out more at becauseIloveIt.com. That's becauseIloveIt.com. And we're back. Writer Casey Newton, who used to write for The Verge but now writes for his own journal called Platformer, wrote a long article all about how Meta is building a decentralized, text-based social network. Here's what he was told by Meta. Quote, "We're exploring a standalone decentralized social network for sharing text updates. We believe there's an opportunity for a separate space where creators and public figures can share timely updates about their interests." End quote. That is very similar to what Twitter does, especially the text-based part. Now you're probably wondering who from Meta is possibly going to take over this project. The answer is Adam Mosseri. Does this guy have a lot on his plate or what? Here's how it's going to work. You are going to log into this new platform with your Instagram credentials. The fact that it's decentralized refers to the ability that individual users will have to set up your own independent server and set server-specific rules for how content is moderated. Individual servers would let different groups set their own community standards, kind of similar to how Reddit has individual communities. Some of the criticisms of Facebook and Instagram historically have been around content moderation, whether that moderation was justified or not. However, in this kind of scenario where it's decentralized, this is not an issue. Details about this are not really available beyond what I've just explained, but I will link to the article in Platformer so you can check it out. Normally you have to pay for Platformer articles, but Casey was nice enough to make this one free, so I will link to it in the show notes. That's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you for listening. Be sure to come back on Monday for Mosseri Monday. He does a joint AMA with the head of product at Meta. And since I'm a product manager, I really enjoy these answers. We're going to dive into those, so come back on Monday.
Instagram news got you covered, sometimes even TikTok. Relevant platforms in the metaverse ahead of the wave, without a break or a pit stop. Still waiting for Zuckerberg to give me the big job. Pause. Use trademarks and logos with Insta's permission, of course. If you like the show and gain some good info, maybe leave a review. It's a type of applause. Just drop me a message if you want to collab. If you've got some good content or you want to run ads, at Daniel Hill Media is where I am. TikTok, Facebook and Instagram.